Hey guys, welcome to another Coming of the Horde replay. I'm Synegg, and this is a Warcraft 3 custom map by TheBronzeKnee. We're just loading in here now, and if you're new to this channel, be sure to check out the rest of my videos for more games. Let's have a look. So the Horde here, starting in the bottom right corner, they have 60 minutes to take out all 8 Alliance factions. Each Alliance faction has a large city fortress with a standing garrison of troops, several troop production buildings, and the throne here. The throne is the heart of the faction, and if it is ever destroyed, that faction is considered lost. We have the Burning Legion here, led by Manaroth, one of their Pit Lord heroes, and they have just destroyed Northshire Abbey. This event pretty much always happens, as this map is based loosely on the retelling of the first war for Azeroth. And up here we have Kargath Bladefist, the hero of the dark green player of the Bleeding Hollow clan. It seems he's gone up north for a stroll, and he's followed quickly by his clansmen. And just before the action gets too much underway, let's have a look at the rest of the map. So we have the orange dwarven faction here of Khazmodan in their large mountain city of Ironforge. This is the throne at the top of the hill, and they're led by Bran Bronzebeard, the High Explorer. And up at the bridge here, it seems the red Stromgarde player has sent a small garrison of footmen and crossbows to guard the 3 bridges here of Thandal Span, patrolled by this hawk. And these 3 bridges, they separate the southern Azeroth kingdoms from the northern Alliance lands. And up here we have Kargath and Manaroth leading their respective demon and orc factions, and now they're constructing a base here, so it seems they're going to cross the Thandal Span. Now they're sending up quite a large force, so these red defenders, they're going to be pushed back, and they're probably going to retreat into Stromgarde City behind these double great gates here. Meanwhile, back down in the bottom, so we have the light blue Storm Reaver clan, led by Cho'Gall, one of the Ogre Magi heroes, and it seems the brown Blackrock clan is still coming out through the Black Morass, and their hero is clearly still sleeping in their tent and hasn't arrived on the battle. And opposing them, the blue Azeroth kingdom of Stormwind City here, led by Lord Lothar, and supported here by Duke, I can't say his last name, Falrevere or something. He is one of the commodores of Kultiras, the Teal island nation, which is a pure seafaring human nation, and they cannot be attacked until the Horde has defeated Azeroth. Now it seems a scouting party up north, led by Uther the Lightbringer, paladin of the Silver Hand, escorted by his personal guard. They've encountered the Horde tribesmen here, and they're battering down the gates of Stromgarde. It seems they're intent on harassing and delaying the Horde advance. And these Silver Hand Knights, their unique ability, they can all cast Holy Light to heal other heroes or units, so very valuable ability. But it seems Dark Green is unfazed, and they're continuing their siege. And further up in the far north right, Manaroth has taken his demons, and they've come through the outer gates of Silvermoon here, and they're making camp in the forest village of the elves, and they're very soon going to launch their attack against the Silvermoon city itself, here defended by Sylvanas, one of the ranger generals, and supported by Ronan, the Dalaran purple faction here of mages. Excuse me. And back at Stromgarde, it seems the assault has begun, and Red choosing to assemble his defenders in this middle level here, close to his troop production buildings, and the Horde somewhat distracted still by this knight flanking force, very good at harassing catapults and just threatening the production buildings and killing any stray workers. And it seems the Horde is mainly attacking from the right side, and it's very important because the Alliance have weaker units with less health and armor, that they maximize defending at choke points, and they prepare a nice concave and lead the Horde into death traps and killing zones. And it seems this first wave of the Horde has been pushed back, but meanwhile the Yellow Legion has begun their assault on Silvermoon, and this line here is slightly odd. Normally you want to defend at the narrowest points, but it seems for the moment they're okay, as they're supported by a number of range units, mages and siege weapons here, with the Black Gilneas hero King Gen Greymane bringing 4 of his catapults here to help support the Alliance. Back at Stromgarde, a second wave has begun, with Kargath himself entering the fray, and now Stromgarde is called for aid and the dwarves have arrived. Bran is teleported in with his battle engines. These are powerful tanks with a long-range splash attack, and again they've repelled the Orc defenders, the Orc attackers. But the gate is still open and the gate lever is still standing, so if the Alliance ever feel threatened, they can close the gate and stall the Horde for a moment. And Dark Green has made a number of sentry towers here to prevent any further run-bys from Grey. And back up at Silvermoon, it seems the Horde, instead of making a large-scale assault, they're just sending in a number of spellcasters, these Lightning Revenants, and they have very useful spells. They have the Lightning Shield, and they can also cast Fork Lightning. So normally you shouldn't sacrifice all of them like that. It's good to harass, cast some spells, soften up the defenders, and then retreat and regenerate mana and wait for the cooldown. Now while these two Orc factions are coming up north, it seems Light Blue is set up camp outside Stormwind, but clearly their forces are having a picnic here, and they're gathering in certain prayer circles while waiting for Brown to return from the Nether Realms or the toilet or something. So once again Dark Green sending another wave. This time it seems favouring the left side, and they're pummeling the defenders excuse me, pummeling the defenders from the low ground with catapults, and the defenders running around in disarray, but otherwise not particularly worried, as the Horde coming in quite scattered groups. Meanwhile at Stormwind, so Lord Lothar and Duke still overseeing their top gate here, and Kargath coming into the front. That was a large area of effect spell from him, but he's foolishly got himself caught on the front lines and surrounded and cut down. And now Dalaran has sent their large air force to support, and each faction has a number of air units, but they're usually capped at 3 Griffin Riders or 3 Dragonhawks. The Dalaran faction is unique in that they can summon up to 8 air units. And back up in the top right, it seems Silvermoon is under heavy attack, with the 2 Sunwell Golems here forced to commit to the front lines, and Manaroth now supported by a teleport in from Kargath. And equally on the Alliance side, the defenders are thinning out. Manaroth Stampede charging into Sylvanas, but now caught with a squad of Silverhand Knights here with Uthar, and they managed to bring down the beast. And now Kargath himself surrounded, but he might manage to slip out, and he's fighting valiantly. He is now level 6, but he does not have any items, so he too falls, and Silvermoon hanging by a whisker. Down in the Stormwind front, it seems Light Blue is committed to an attack, but you see they're funneled into this very narrow area, and this is one of the hardest bases to attack, because first your forces are funneled past this narrow bridge and then into this outer gatehouse area where the Alliance can mass units, and the Horde tightly packed units suffer catastrophic losses to the Mage Blizzard skill, and Adun Lothar wounded but returning inside, and the Alliance fielding a heavy number of units for a very healthy defense indeed. And back up in the middle area, so Dark Green once again launching another attack, this time going on the right side, and Bran here on the ramparts supported by some crossbows, raining a hail of projectiles down on the Orc assailants, and they make it through the gate, and there's a blizzard waiting for them. But meanwhile, Yellow is finally successful in taking down the Silvermoon City. Manaroth now level 8, and it seems the Alliance did not teleport in much to defend them, and this might be a mistake later, as once the first throne falls, actually the Horde gain their level 2 units, very strong ogres, trolls, and other special unique units to each faction, and that could be a problem for the other fronts, as usually you want, as the Alliance, to protect the first throne from falling for as long as possible, but they did hold for 11 minutes, so that's not bad at all. And Stromguard still held. They've barricaded off the left side with 2 towers. This, I believe, completely blocks this choke, and this might automatically redirect their unit AI to attack from the right side, where they've clustered a large number of units. And now it seems a pair of trolls getting lost and wandering into Khazmadan for some reason, while Light Blue now attacking from the bottom gate, but once again they're packed into this very tight space, and Blizzard from the mages after with a hoof stomp from Lothar, completely destroying all these Orc attackers. Up top, Manaroth has found Stromguard's farm, he's slaughtering chickens, and back in the Stromguard city, another assault. This might be the 4th or 5th wave, and they've made it in, and you don't want the grunts being able to stream in like this and start hacking down all the defenders. You do want a couple of strong tanky melee units like knights, for example, or heroes, blocking off the narrowest points. So Alliance suffering some losses there, but the Horde may be out of money. Yes, indeed, 15 gold, so that's why they only had a small squad and couldn't sort of bring a large horde. And in general, the Horde want to attack with overwhelming numbers, where the Alliance is sparsely defended. And up at the mountain pass here at Stronghold of Alterac, so the Dalaran and Gilneas Alliance have garrisoned a number of troops, so this, if the Horde do try to cross there, it won't be any easy task. The Bleeding Hollow clan now mustering another wave here, with their catapults going in first, but they're met equally with the catapults here from Black Gilneas, and an exchange of fire here on the battlements, and the uphill mischance being critical here, giving the defenders the advantage. And now Kargath, level 8, getting rather tanky with Stonepath Chest Guard, one of the best tanking items in the game, charges in solo just to unleash a area nuke ability, but he's starting to rack up damage from all the Alliance defenders, and he's forced to retreat. And that was a cheeky gate close trying to trap him, but unfortunately they missed. And a gate mechanic, so at any time the Alliance can close the gate, but once it's closed there's a small cooldown, and the gate can't be reopened if it's under attack or if there's Horde units immediately outside it. So gates can be used in very cunning strategic ways to lure in some Horde attackers and then cutting them in half with closing the gate. And we might see that at Azeroth, as now Light Blue sending in another wave of units, slightly in disarray, with some of their range units trapped in front of their ogres, blocking them from attacking. And now this is how you want to defend. See, a small number of Alliance melee units have effectively blocked off the entire door area, so the Horde can't get in, and you concentrate a massive range units behind, and all these mages constantly hailing down blizzards to attack the Horde, with Adun Lothar here level 8 getting quite strong, and he's basically become this tanky powerhouse. And now Cho'Gall for some reason getting stuck in this little nook here, getting shot down from Sylvanas, and Lothar basically trapped him in and stomps him down. But meanwhile, back up in the north now, the Legion player and Dark Green player, they've launched a combined assault. The Legion from the left here, and that was Manaroth's ultimate skill, summoning some Infernals down, and they cause an area effect damage when they land, and also a stun, but they also spawn these very powerful Infernal units with Immolation. And it seems the Alliance might get overrun here, as Gen has been trapped outside the gate and he's quickly cut down by Manaroth. And now Garona as well joining the fray, so it seems Brown has finally returned, and only level 3, but we'll see if he manages to level up his hero, as Garona is a very strong assassin hero later. And Kurdrin just respawning from the throne here, but he's quickly pushed aside by Kargath, and now their throne falling. But meanwhile, the Silver Hand here mustering their call to arms has summoned a reasonable force, but it's too late, as Stromgarde has already fallen, and now they're actually getting harassed on the retreat by demonic Fellhounds and Felguards. But it seems the Legion is caught off the chase and they're able to retreat mostly intact, and now they must prepare for their next defense here at the mountain pass, and Dalaran summoning the Ancient Guardian here to block the southern pass. And a slightly odd placement of towers, as usually you want towers to be barricades to block part of the narrowest choke point. And back down in Stormwind, it seems the Horde would launch a double attack. So in the top here, mostly Azeroth defenders with Adun, Ronan and Sylvanas bring some Elven sorceresses to stand on these battlements, and once again doing a very good job packing the Horde defenders. And that was a massive combo there from Blizzard and Ronan's Mana Bomb and Adun's Hoof Stomp, and Cho'Gall getting cut down, only level 4 unfortunately. Meanwhile at the bottom, so more sparsely defended, Azeroth troops with Gen and Duke here, and you see this massive traffic jam of Horde units, and that's why the Stormwind outer defense, while it can be hard to set up and it requires support from allies, if you successfully manage to get a good amount of defenders, the Horde basically has a very difficult time getting through. And somehow Ronan getting stuck here, he's actually not stuck, he's retreating inside, so this nice little side door here, and Garona level 4, we'll see if they manage to break through Stormwind. But usually this is very deterring to the Horde, and after a while, if the Horde doesn't change targets and reserve this for later, they might just end up feeding Alliance. So it seems Dark Green launching an attack from the southern pass here, and at the same time the Yellow Legion launching against the north pass, and Dalaran here with their air units dueling the Nether Drakes of the Legion, and the Legion here kind of packed into this narrow space, but Manaroth summoning his massive ultimate, so that was 3 Infernals crashing down, and they're going to start doing area of effect immolation damage against all these Alliance defenders unless they're dealt with. And now the the Dalaran Golem guarding this very narrow gate here. And for players, these stone walls, they're actually attackable. Now they're neutral structures, but actually if the Alliance or the Horde use catapults to force attack ground, these can be destroyed to make this slightly wider. But it seems that's not necessary, as Dark Green has just massed a sizable unit, and they've charged through the breach, supported by Garona here. And it seems they're quickly overrunning the Alliance defenders, and these catapults and mages better retreat quickly, otherwise they'll get cut down by these faster Horde pursuers. And Kurdrin here transforming into his aerial form, and that's his unique ability. He's the only hero who's capable of naturally flying, the ultimate allowing him to transform into the Griffin form, but this does sacrifice his durability somewhat. and so we're 20 minutes in. The Alliance has lost 2 thrones, Stromgarde and Silvermoon, and this would be a good place to stop part 1, as the Horde has reached the doors of Lordaeron, but they're still stuck down below at the gates of Stormwind.